Why, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Truly Odd podcast, where we bring you the latest in game news and movie news. I'm your host, Joe Garcia. So grab your controllers, get your popcorn, and let's go ahead and dive right on into these topics now, shall we? Starting off with our first game news topic of the day. Looks like Battlefield 2049 has a new trailer regarding the roadmap to Battlefield 6. And I think this is genius that they're doing this. Now that the Battlefield 6 beta has ended, a lot of fans are, wishing they can continue to play the game. But since they have to wait, they have to probably fall back to older Battlefield games if they're continuing to play those games, that is. And it looks like they're introducing some new free content on the way as you wait for Battlefield 6. So let's go ahead and take a look at this new trailer that they just dropped the other day. Now, sadly, music and stuff, so we can't really play it. But let's go ahead and take a look. I think they're introducing a new map here called uh, Iwo Jima. I'm not sure if this is going to be a new map or if this is kind of their battle royale thing. It's hard to say here, but it looks phenomenal. The graphics, the cinematics here, it looks like a lot of fun. And after playing Battlefield 6 beta, I'm sure a lot of fans will be interested in kind of hoping to rekindle some of the spark of the gameplay, especially with this new map that they have introducing. But let me know what you guys think of this. Are you excited to jump back into Battlefield 2047 while you wait for Battlefield 6, or do you think it's no point in doing this at all? And it's funny because this kind of leads into our next topic. And while this trailer is going to play, I'm going to go ahead and talk about our next topic of the day, which is EA wants to make Battlefield an annual release. So, with Battlefield 2049 and Battlefield 6 coming out, they're going to kind of want to implement what Call of Duty has going on, where they have about three different studios cycling through the release. Let's go ahead and take a look at this article now that this trailer is about done. So basically, to sum it up, it says EA reportedly wants Battlefield 6 to become a yearly franchise similar to Call of Duty, with three studios rotating development on a 3-year cycle, although it may take 5 or 6 years to implement this fully at EA. Excuse me. After a 4-year break between Battlefield 2042 and Battlefield 6, future installments are expected to arrive more frequently, marking a shift from franchise historical lower uh, time between development. Forgive me, guys. I probably wrote that down wrong. It doesn't look right here. Anyways, while fans while fans welcome Battlefield 6 positive beta reports, some fans are remaining skeptical about having franchise fatigue with annual releases. And I do think this is a bit of a concern when it comes to the Battlefield games. Battlefield is, I think the appeal of Battlefield is not like Call of Duty. I think that's what makes it stand out, what makes fans kind of gravitate towards it. It's not necessarily a realistic shooter, but it leans more towards, real kind of scenarios and warfare with open warfare and stuff like that, giant maps and things of that sort. Whereas Call of Duty's not very giant, very close quarters, very fast paced and stuff like that. So we'll see what ends up happening with this. I'm kind of not hoping for them to do an annual release. I don't think it would benefit the studio, but who knows? Not Let me rephrase that. I don't think it'll benefit the fans. I don't think it'll benefit us as fans because we want games that have been really focused on and really developed for 4 or 5 years and stuff like that for us to get the best quality games. Kind of how different Battlefield 6 is from Battlefield 2042. We seem to be getting a better game and a campaign on top of that, so that's really beneficial for us as players. But for the studio, it's of course going to be more beneficial for yearly releases because they get to cash in on all the people wanting to play new content constantly all the time. And Call of Duty's been able to sustain that for quite some time. So of course they want to kind of get into that kind of field and stuff like that. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you hoping that Battlefield stays kind of consistent with their releases now around the 4 to 5 year mark, or do you want them to have annual releases? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Moving on to our third game news topic of the day. It looks like we might have the leaked prices for Battlefield Black Ops 7. Now, I want you to chalk this up to a rumor. Nothing's guaranteed as of yet. These are supposed leaks that have come out regarding the Call of Duty pricing, and Black Ops 7 will reportedly launch at $69.99 for the base edition and $99.99 for the Vault edition. For euros, that would be around $79.99 for euros and 109.99 for euros as well. Microsoft Game Pass strategy and backlash over. So basically, the reason for this is because of Microsoft's Game Pass strategy, and there has been a lot of backlash over the $80 titles, like Outer Worlds did. They ended up having to lower it by $10 because of that. So that most likely influencing this decision if this is going to be the case for this release. So we'll see. Like I said, I think the first game that will be doing the $80 thing will be Grand Theft Auto 6, and games will follow suit in that case. So definitely not seeing a game like Call of Duty do that for the holidays coming up. So definitely, hopefully they stick with this price release in the $70 mark, kind of how games have been as of late. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you happy with this price mark? Are you hoping this is true, or do you think they should up it to $80? I very much doubt any of you would agree with that, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Moving on to our next game news topic of the day. It looks like Sony Santa Monica Studios is working on a new technically ambitious IP. Now, I want you to take everything that's said here with a grain of salt because this has been reported this morning, and we now have some new updates regarding this story. So apparently, Cory Barlog, who was kind of the director of the God of War franchise, has posted the following on Facebook. I'd like to share a little bit about our new project. I'm incredibly proud of the team at Santa Monica Studios has been accomplishing its technical ambitious project, something that's not easy to achieve. This is a new IP we've been working on for years, and if it goes well, we plan to show it later this year. I couldn't be more excited. So that was already a bit sketchy. I can't imagine Cory Barlog doing stuff like that, but here's what we got going on here. Uh, the account has been the account behind the posting was later deemed likely fake, causing several debates around the field right now in the news. Sony has not confirmed or denied, so there's no claims as of yet. Despite the confusion, multiple reports for job listings suggest Sony Santa Monica Studios is developing several unannounced projects, possibly including a new IP unrelated to God of War. So it is a possibility to think that Sony Santa Monica Studios is working on a new IP, but as far as this post is concerned, it looks like it has been debunked and this is no longer true. And it's funny because a lot of articles this morning were posting about this new IP because of this post. So that just goes to show that you got to be careful with what you're reading and stuff like that, and make sure you do a little bit of your due diligence as you read newsletters. And that's why when it comes to stuff like this, I always tend to report rumors, even if they say, "Oh, leaked, confirmed, whatever." No, I always put rumors unless the studio confirms it or unless someone working closely with the project has confirmed it. So I always do that just in case, because you never know in this industry, people could lie all the time and information could be misconstrued. And as we've now figured out that this post from Cory Barlog's Facebook has been debunked and it is now fake. But it is interesting knowing that there are new job openings at Santa Monica Studio that may be leading to a new IP. We're going to have to wait and see. I know that it was rumored that Sony planned on doing another State of Play later in September. We're going to have to find out if that's true. I'm going to probably talk about that on tomorrow's episode of the Truly Odd podcast. But let me know what you guys think of this in the comments down below. Do you think that besides this being debunked as a fake account, do you think that Sony Santa Monica Studios is working on a new IP, or are you hoping they're working on a new God of War game? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Moving on to our last game news topic of the day. It looks like tomorrow Nintendo Direct is going to be focusing on a Kirby Air Riders game. So kind of how they did with their Donkey Kong game that was recently released, Donkey Kong Bonanza. They had a full Nintendo Direct fully focused on that. We're going to now receive the same treatment with their new Kirby game. Nintendo will stream a 45-minute direct on Kirby Air Riders tomorrow, August 19th, offering an in-depth look at the Switch 2 exclusive. This marks Masayoshi Sakurai, forgive me if I'm saying his name wrong, Sakura, first project since Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The game is a sequel to the 2003 cult classic Kirby Air Ride. The timing suggests that Kirby Air Ride may be playable at Gamescom 2025, since it's going to be happening on the same day as Gamescom. This is, let me see, where is it? Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. So that's basically why. So interesting that they're going to be doing a 45-minute debut of this when Gamescom is coming up. I think because if they weren't showcasing it at Gamescom, the news might get lost in the shuffle because there's going to be so many more announcement going on at Gamescom. So I'm assuming that they're definitely going to be showcasing this game there. So it's nice for them to have their own Nintendo Direct for people interested in seeing only Nintendo games, and then also uh, kind of showing it at Gamescom, kind of double dipping there with the news cycle. Now I know my girlfriend in particular, who is a huge Kirby fan. If you guys saw the side of our bed, I just got a bunch of Kirby plushes all over the place. She absolutely loves this character, so she is definitely excited for this game. She doesn't have a Switch 2 just yet, so this is probably going to be the game that she gets the console for. So hopefully we'll see how that turns out, and hopefully we get to play it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited to check out Kirby Air Riders? Now that does it for our game news topics of the day. We're going to go ahead and move on to our movie news topics. And we're going to start off with some sad news today. Terence Stamp passes away at the age of 87. If you do not know who Terence Stamp is, he played General Zod in the original Superman and Superman 2 movies. He also was in My Boss's Daughter, Yes Man, The Adjustment Bureau, and many, many, many other films that you might recognize him from. This is the gentleman right here. Uh, I personally know him from the movies that I listed off, and those are some of my favorite performances of his. Now, I can be honest and say I haven't seen a lot of his filmography, but we're seeing a lot of awesome goodbyes here on social media, showing some of his acting ability, showcasing how much people loved his work and stuff like that. So, if you guys are interested in hearing what people have to say about Terrence Stamp, go ahead and take a look at the article. I'll have everything in the description down below, so you guys can go ahead and check those things out for yourself. But really sad to see such an amazing actor go. Me, I think my first really memory of seeing Terrence Stamp on screen was in the movie Yes Man with Jim Carrey, as he played the guy that kind of was the cult leader for the Yes community, and I thought his character was very hilarious. Seeing him run on stage towards Jim Carrey, and really bring some type of gravitas to the roles that he's in. And then after that, seeing him in other movies like My Boss's Daughter, which I grew up watching, The Adjustment Bureau, which I think is an underrated movie. And honestly, I didn't put two and two together about him being General Zod until I was much older in life and really rewatched the Superman movies. I'm like, oh my god, that's the guy from Yes Man, Kneel before Zod. So I love him, and I still say that to this day, Kneel before Zod. So really sad to see him go and pass. So a moment of silence for Terrence Stamp. Thank you guys for that. Now let's go ahead and move on to our next movie news topic of the day. It looks like we have a Peacemaker season 2 trailer that dropped. Oh my god, I clicked on the wrong thing. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at this now. I love the way that this thing starts because it starts with him and James Gunn kind of talking to each other, going back and forward about how they can cuss and be R-rated because it is the Red Band trailer. I'm kind of really liking what James Gunn is so far doing with DC Studios. He's not afraid to lean into the R and then be himself and stuff like that. So I think it really beneficial for the character. Now I can't let the trailer play in its full entirety because YouTube's a bit of a bitch. So let's go ahead and take in some of the visuals while I kind of break down what the series is going to be about. Peacemaker faces new enemies, moral dilemmas, and dysfunctional team dynamics. Uh, hunting uh, Hunting a deeper character development beneath the absurdity. Now, it looks like this series is going to have to do with not necessarily time travel, but dimensional travel, using the kind of the room that he uses for his equipment. And it looks like he's going to be running into himself from other previous trailers we've seen. But I do think this trailer is pretty cool. I highly recommend you guys check it out on your own time when you get the opportunity. Sadly, I probably have to stop it here because YouTube would probably make me edit it out. But there is a creature in the trailer that keeps popping up, and it's kind of like doesn't say hi to John Cena's character, which I find pretty hilarious. Let me put that up for you guys. This part right here. So here's the creature, and he kind of says hi, good morning, and then the creature ignores him. And then later on in the trailer, he runs into him again and cusses him out. And he says, "No, fuck that guy. He doesn't say hi to me. I say hi to him every morning. He never replies." So I just thought that was really funny, and I do look forward to checking this show out. So let me know what you guys think of the Peacemaker season 2 trailer. Are you looking forward to it? And I think it's going to be streaming on August 21st. So that would be this Thursday. So depending on, I don't think they're gonna drop all episodes at once. So maybe we'll talk about the first episode on that Friday's episode. We'll have to wait and see. But let me know what you guys think of this trailer in the comments down below. Moving on to our next movie news topics of the day, it looks like we have the box office results for this past weekend, weekend 33 of the year 2025. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of these results. Now, mind you, these are not the actuals. Sometimes those come in later on Mondays. So let's go ahead and look at what is currently reported. But this is pretty close to what we actually have. Some adjustment will be happening later on today. But Weapons is currently sitting at $25 million for this weekend, only a 42.5% drop from its opening weekend, which is pretty good for a horror movie of this caliber. Freakier Friday makes $14.5 million with a 49.3% drop, not hitting the 50% drop, which is pretty good for a comedy like this as well. And that's our 1 and 2s. Number 3, Nobody 2 debuts with 9.25 million, which is a bit disappointing. I kind of feel like the studio was hoping for a lot more with an action movie like this and hoping to make the number 1 at the box office, but it reaches number 3. Number 4 is Fantastic Four First Step, sitting at $8.8 million. Number 5, The Bad Guys 2 at $7.5 million. Superman still hanging in there, even though I think it opened up on home video this past weekend, sitting at 5.285 million. The Naked Gun is at number 7 with 4.8 million dollars. Sorry, guys. Jurassic World still hanging in there at number 8 with 2.9 million. F1 is sitting at number 9 with 2.6 million, and Cooley, which I do not know what this is at all, is sitting at $2.45 million. Let's go ahead and check out what is Cooley. I've never even seen this before. I've not seen this. Maybe we'll have to check it out. But let's go ahead and do a deeper dive. Weapons, which is a horror movie with pretty low budget, worldwide is already sitting at $148.7 million. So I'm sure that they're celebrating highly over there, and they're most likely going to be doing that prequel movie that we talked about last week. Freakier Friday is currently sitting at worldwide $86 million. So I think that's really good for them. I'm sure this was a low budget Disney movie, and I'm sure they're happy with this. I think this was supposed to be a direct to streaming movie, so I'm very sure that they're happy with the way it was released. Nobody 2, while it made 9.2 here domestically, worldwide is sitting at $14.1 million. Pretty disappointing so far from what I'm seeing as far as what the budget is. We'll have to figure out what that is later. Now, the bigger ones here, we're talking about Fantastic Four and Superman. I think Superman, now that it's on home release, while it hasn't finished its theatrical run, I think it's going to be stopping somewhere around the $600 million mark. Oh, yeah, look at that. So, probably next week it's going to be passing the $600 million mark, but I don't think it's going to be catching Man of Steel. We'll have to wait and see, but I think it did a good job here. I think the studio's pretty happy with $600 million for their first debut movie in the DCEU, but let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. As far as Fantastic Four, it's still going. I'm thinking it'll probably end around I don't know if it has another $100 million mark to make, but maybe it'll be around the $550 million. We'll have to wait and see. I'm thinking it will pass the $500 million within the next couple weeks. Kind of disappointing for MCUs. There was a point where the MCU was making $1 billion of films, so hopefully the crazy where their budgets are, but I think this movie will be profitable at the end of the day. And that's basically it for the weekend box office, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Were you disappointed that Nobody 2 didn't make it higher on the list? I sadly didn't get the opportunity to watch it because I had plans to go to Vegas this weekend, so I did not get the opportunity to go. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Moving on to our next movie news topic of the day, it looks like Sir Ian McKellen has revealed that Gandalf and Frodo will be featuring in The Lord of the Rings, The Hunt for Gollum. Now, mind you, I normally, like I said before, put this into the rumor mill, but this is Ian McKellen, one of the main actors of the film, so I'm pretty sure he knows what his deals are and where he will and will not be appearing. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Ian McKellen reveals that both the characters will be appearing in The Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, directed by Andy Serkis and set for theaters to be released in theaters on December 17th, 2027. He was at For the Love of Fantasy event in London. Ian McKellen said the following: uh, "I'll I'll tell you two secrets about the casting. There's a character in the movie called Frodo, and there's another character called Gandalf. Apart from that, my lips are sealed." Which is pretty funny. I love Ian McKellen. He's amazing. Production is scheduled to start on May 2026, with Andy Serkis reprising his role as Gollum and also set to direct. So this is exciting news. I think Ian McKellen is phenomenal. He's getting up there in age, so I do love seeing him return not only as his one of his two of his most popular characters in my opinion, being that of Magneto and Gandalf. So it's nice to see him return to these characters at the age of 80, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see how old Ian McKellen is. I'm very curious. Ian McKellen, and I spelled his name wrong, even though it is right here. Maybe I should have put Sir. Ian McKellen is currently 86 years old. Wow, what a what a phenomenal fucking life. So everything that he needs to do, I hope all his Doomsday stuff is shot. I'm hoping we get to filming this Lord of the Rings so we can see whatever need to see with Gandalf. So hopefully we get it all under wraps so that way he can retire in peace if that's what he wants to do. But he is getting up there in age, so it's nice to see him to return to these characters, and I can't wait to see his performance as Gandalf. Even though he is up there in age, I think he's going to do phenomenal. And I honestly feel that that year he was nominated for his performance as Gandalf, he should have won the Oscar, in my opinion. But again, you know, that's probably biased because I'm a big fan of Lord of the Rings. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you excited to see the return of Gandalf and Frodo in the Lord of the Rings franchise? There's a cool little clip here where he says, "You shall not pass." I would play it for you guys, but you know it is a bit loud. And if you guys are interested in seeing it, go ahead and check out the description down below. I'll have the link to this article. Moving on to our last movie news topic of the day, it looks like Quentin Tarantino talks about why he pulled the plug on the film Critic movie that he was in development of. So let's go ahead and take a look at this article from Deadline. Now, to summarize it for you guys, although Tarantino really liked the movie, the movie Critic being the movie title, sorry, even though he really liked the movie Critic, originally conceived of as a 8-part series, he ultimately wasn't really that excited about dramatizing it, calling the subject matter the most boring profession in the world and admitting it felt too similar to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Tarantino pulled the plug on the movie Critic, which was set in 1977's California and based on a real life writer for a porno rag. Yeah. Anyways, he's now back to the drawing board to find a more creative challenge idea for his 10th and final film. While Brad Pitt will be reprising his role as Cliff Booth in the Netflix's The Adventures of Cliff Booth, directed by David Fincher, Tarantino is shifting focus to live theater, saying he's really juiced about the stage and plans to debut a play in London's West End. So that's awesome for him to be doing that play stuff. And yes, it looks like Cliff Booth will be returning on Netflix for a series directed by David Fincher, which is exciting. So a little bit of two news in one. Uh, but yeah, the thing about it is, I think that he realized that the movie Critic script that he was doing not only was too similar, but it wasn't exciting enough for him to be his last film. I'm sure he wants his very last film. What he says will be his last film is going to probably really want to be the more exciting, more relevant kind of film. You know, something that kind of culminates with all the work he's done over the years, from Reservoir Dogs to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So I'm very curious what he's going to be doing for his final film. A lot of fans out there are hoping it's a Kill Bill sequel, but I very much doubt it'll be that. And I hope it's something original because Quentin Tarantino does great original Quentin Tarantino films. So I'm very curious what his final film will end up being. We'll have to wait and see what that is. And he's a very creative talent, and hopefully, even though he says he's going to retire, hopefully at the end of the day he still returns and directs further past that, because he's one of the voices in the industry that really stands out, and I would love to see him continue to make films and original films. And if not, hopefully we can see him do something crazy like a franchise film, like a Star Trek or something like that. I'd love to see what he would do with something that's technically not his as a writer, but just him as a director. I'd be very curious how that would turn out. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Are you sad that we're not going to be getting the movie Critic and he's working on other things? Or are you more excited for whatever he's got working on in the future? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And that's a wrap for today's episode of the Truly Odd Podcast, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. If you like this episode, please like and subscribe. And always, guys, remember, stay true, be odd.